Brandon, thanks so much. Kern County Medical and some 1,500 of its union employees are at odds on multiple fronts.
23 ABC's Vanya Patino breaks down the latest with the planned strike, a new lawsuit, and how this impacts patients.
On one end, the employees represented by the local union have been negotiating an increase to their pay for over a year. On the other end, a surgery center opened by the hospital in 2019 is raising questions on the lack of transparency in funding, which has led some employees to file a lawsuit against Kern Medical.
We have a voice, but kind of feels like that voice is being stifled because rather than give the money to us, they're willing to give it to replacement employees and suppress our voice in the form of a strike.
George Pfister is a clinical nurse leader at Kern Medical. He says the hospital, through its management firm, Meridian Healthcare Partners, proposed and approved the use of $15 million to hire temporary workers for 3 days, while current staff plan to strike in August.
Instead of giving the $15 million to replacement workers, I'm on the bargaining team, like I said. Let's give that $15 million to the workers of Kern Medical. So let's take that $15 million and put it towards the contract. Let's increase our wage proposal by $15 million.
Pfister has been working at Kern Medical for 13 years and says he has never seen this happen. And the main issue is most employees aren't staying as long as he has. He says lack of competitive pay is the reason.
Is retention. Our wages are 24.7% below what other healthcare workers in our area receive. Our turnover rate is too high. That's the main issue. We're trying to reduce turnover rate. It has to do with pay. It also has to do with working quality.
During the board meeting, a representative from the union laid all of these points out, but those on the governor's board still voted to approve that funding for temporary workers. The vice president of Meridian Financial Partners did respond to the union rep in the meeting.
In an attempt to engage the union to give wage increases, we offered a comprehensive proposal in September of 2021 to be able to have meaningful discussions of how do we give wage increases. The union did not respond until May 2nd with its comprehensive wage proposal. That proposal was not financially responsible.
Kern Medical also released a statement this afternoon about the planned strike, saying in part, quote, "In anticipation of a strike, which we had hoped to avoid, the hospital's authority board of governors approved entering into a 1-year agreement with Aya Healthcare, Inc. to provide replacement workers if needed. The maximum payable amount of the agreement is $15 million. We recognize this is a lot of money, but critical hospital and clinical services must remain open and available to the public should a strike occur. Kern Medical strongly encourages SEIU to accept our last, best, and final offer to give our employees the much-needed wage increases they deserve," end quote. And meanwhile, the union says they are now working on the next steps. Plus, that is not the only issue between the two parties. Union workers filed a lawsuit Monday for violating public disclosure laws. Many employees have raised questions about a surgery center Kern Medical opened in 2019 under its own LLC. They argue the equipment meant for the hospital is shared with the surgery center, which they believe does not provide care for the target audience of Kern Medical.
The money was designated for Kern Medical. We help the underinsured and people who aren't insured. We help the homeless. We want to stay focused on that mission. We don't want money going to elsewhere because currently the money is going to a surgical center that runs a Medi-Spa, and its clientele is the people on the west side, so it's a much higher level of income. So it's not really reaching the target, the desired audience.
23 ABC did reach out to Kern Medical and Meridian Health Partners to confirm what is written in the lawsuit, but Kern Medical says it cannot comment on ongoing litigation, and Meridian did not respond as of news time. The 17-page lawsuit, which is available on our website, 2023.com, goes more in-depth on all the events that led to them having to resort to take legal action. Now, the union hopes that this will provide more transparency in the funding, which they say is taxpayer dollars, which should be going towards benefiting the most vulnerable. In East Bakersfield, Vanya Patino, 23 ABC News, connecting you.